NaNoWriMo! That was the smiling face of a woman who had run 2 very cold, very wet miles, got soaked to the bone, and still had 4 left to go. Hello, I'm Kate. Welcome to what's going to be a different kind of NaNoWriMo vlog, more of a NaNoWriMo update, as we will discuss what my current graph looks like, which is to say, not great. I left for Disney World on November 3rd, and so I got a really good bit of writing done on the 1st of November. I knew that November was going to be crazy for me. If you've watched any of my Preptober videos, you knew this was basically what I accepted. I knew this was going to happen, and this was sort of the plan. Sort of. As I really wanted this to be like a vacation and not a working vacation, but I still wanted to get progress done on my story. So I've been working on Project Death since about October 1st, and I'm continuing it through with the hopes of finishing on November 30th, though that is looking less and less likely. However, I'm hopeful that week 2 of NaNoWriMo we'll see an uptick in that graph again. So basically I got a lot done on November 1st. Let us see the graph. 6,142 words in fact. The next day I got 1,815 words for day 2, which was phenomenal because I needed to take my partner's mom to the dentist and I was kind of running errands last minute as we were preparing to leave for the trip. And then I got about 123 words while I was sitting in the airport, but I also had an epiphany, which is awesome. I don't know if you can see this highlighted bit. I have some red and I have some yellow. Without rereading the 32,000 words I already have in this project, in this particular draft of the project, I was feeling like I needed to change up the start of the scenes a little bit. I was worried it was feeling too samey, and this is something that I can't know until I have reread everything, but that is something that I'm going to be on the lookout for, so that's thing 1. Thing 2 is that I already put something earlier in the draft that I can re-reference, which is awesome. Anytime I can add more and more layers to something rather than bringing up a new thing, I find is wonderful. Really just build some concepts deeper and deeper. And the scene that I thought up, this yellow bit, will also help serve to show sort of the way that Tuovi and her best friend are branching off at least a little bit as they're in the capital now, which is going to be a super important evolution for Tuovi, who's really only known this girl. Like, this is her best friend, this is the girl that she's in love with, or thinks she's in love with. And while this is definitely like a super backdroppy element, putting in more hints, even just a little bit, is going to be helpful for kind of the ultimate end, so that's not a surprise what both of the girls decide to do. And we're also coming up on the 3rd on-page death. Now this is going to be the 2nd tricked death, and then not too far after this we're going to be on the 4th on-page death, which is Tuovi taking action again and the armorer realizing what she's actually capable of versus what the house is capable of. So a lot of very interesting stuff has happened. So while I have been whining and dining my way through Epcot, marveling at all that Magic Kingdom has to offer, building a freaking lightsaber at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and of course getting more and more rained on at Animal Kingdom.
They're always playing when they're in the water too. It's very playful. And they're probably happy about this weather. I'm sure the youngest is in here, about 6 years old. They have a 22-month pregnancy to a 300-pound baby. The largest one that lives here, though, is about 13,000 pounds.
I have been thinking about this story in the back of my mind, but that said, day 4, 5, 6, and 7, as I'm filming on day 8, I have not gotten any words. I had a little bit of hope that before everyone was awake I would be able to do more, but the worst thing about Disney is that the way we do it, at least, you're kind of there all the time. Like yesterday we actually came back to watch the F1 race, but we were still doing stuff the whole time, so you're kind of moving about, you're thinking about way other things, you're distracted by all of the wonderful stuff that's happening. But somewhere in the back of my mind, my brain has been working on the story. I've not actively done anything, but my brain has been working. And I did figure out there is a pivotal scene near the end, right when the house, the castle, and the capital, and Tuovi sort of all finally come to a head. The thing that we're building up to, that we don't realize we're building up to, but like ultimately we're building up I figured out a part of that. It's a scene that I have not ever written in any of the drafts. The crazy part for me is that though I'm on quote-unquote draft 4. Draft 3 I only made it 20,000 words in, and then draft 2 was kind of all over the place. I still don't even think I completely finished that draft. I wrote a couple of the last scenes, but that's really changed a lot. And then the 0 draft was just a 0 draft. So these revelations I'm having are really new to the story. In some respects, right? Like, I guess they've always been there. I guess this is always the story I've been wanting to tell. I just didn't realize that yet. And that's why the creative process is so fascinating to me. Because it's like, did my brain always know and like my actual conscious self just hadn't figured it out? Or are we all, is it all figuring it out together as time progresses and I've had more and more time to mull over it? How does any of this work? You know, I do the thing and I don't really know how it works. Now, I started this vlog with the race, so I feel like I should tell you that though I was soaking wet, my feet and my shoes had soaked up so much water by the end of this race, but I had so much fun. I got pictures with Jack Skellington and Ookie Bookie, and that was really what I wanted. Besides just having a wonderful time and marveling in some of the villains and just getting to run the 10K. So it was more of a walking affair than a running affair, but I stuck with my parents and we had a blast just hanging out together at 3 in the morning. I am excited to be on the back half of this trip and get to do all of the little things that we haven't done yet, and maybe for week 2 I'll be able to fit in some words, but if not, you can bet your ass that I'm going to really try and crush it this back half, especially with all of the new revelations about the story. I am wondering if maybe I should re-outline, but frankly, that is not a problem for Today Me. Today Me is on vacation, and I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, please do comment down below. Let me know how week 1 of NaNoWriMo went for you. Let me know if it did not quite go according to your plans. Let me know what your favorite sentence is that you've written. Let me know your most NaNoWriMo sentence you've written, and by that I mean the one that makes no sense, like that your fingers were just going and it was like you looked back and it was confusing and weird and you just rewrote it, did not delete the words, rewrote it and moved on. Let me know if your story has surprised you in any ways. Let me know if this challenge itself has surprised you in any ways, and let me know how your progress has been on the goal that's not the 50,000 word goal or whatever your word count goal is for this November. Whether that's writing from third person point of view, which you've never done before, writing dual perspectives, finishing the story, writing every day. Yeah, let me know how it's going. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Bye. She's Beauty and she's Grace.